I've been married for 25 years. And just like most couples, we've gone through some very difficult relationship issues. I've said and done many things that my wife probably thought were unforgivable. My wife has said and done many things that really infuriated me. But after 25 years, we're still together. You know why? We've learned how to forgive one another, whatever our faults may have been. In most relationships, sometimes one party would say or do something that hurt the other. Many times, both parties would trade mean words at each other and even commit hurtful acts. These can start as small arguments, but they can escalate very quickly. Before you know it, two people have reached the point of breakup. When they reach this point, sometimes it feels like forgiveness is impossible. How do you start forgiving the other, especially if he or she doesn't seem to be repentant? How does one forgive and restore a broken relationship? Pwede pa bang maging magkaibigan ulit if the trust has already been broken? It is possible, but it requires a change of heart. For the Apostle Paul, it's a bit like putting on a new set of clothes. This is what he said in his letter to the Colossians. Put on then, as God's chosen people, holy and beloved, compassionate hearts, kindness, humility, meekness, and patience, bearing with one another, and if one has a complaint against another, forgiving each other, as the Lord has forgiven you, as you also must forgive. God has given us a new identity in Jesus, God's chosen people. We who follow Jesus are very special in the heart of God. And as His chosen ones, He calls us to be the kind of people that He desires us to be. We are not to live the way other people do. How we relate to one another must reflect the nature of the God who chose us for Himself. We are to be compassionate, kind, humble, meek, patient. And yes, we are to bear with one another. We are to forgive each other. And we know the reason for that. As James explained, the Lord has forgiven us. So also, we must forgive. We are to be like our Lord. So, find a space in your heart to forgive your spouse. Forgive each other. Your relationship still has a long way to go. Forgive your father for being less of the responsible father that he ought to be. Forgive your mother who doesn't seem to realize you're all grown up now and still treats you like a small child. Forgive your daughter who's been testing your patience. Forgive your son who's been testing your authority. Forgive your friend who violated your trust. Yes, even when they do not ask for your forgiveness. Learn to forgive as people who have also been forgiven by God. As you learn to put on your new identity as people who are called to forgive, knowing that we are forgiven by God, and as we learn to forgive one another as our way of life, always remember, faith matters too.